Okay, this is good, I guess. Maybe I can get a little closer. Yeah, this video is for you guys. How to get a date and how to keep a date. Anybody can go on a first date, but try to keep that girl in your life. So let me get a little bit closer. I got my new tripod. So this is my Papazon chair and my beach pillow. Okay, so let's talk about how to get a date. I guess these are my rules. I don't know if there are other women's rules, but if girls are watching, you can add to the comments and let me know if you want to add some things that you look for. Now, I've done a lot of videos about online dating, and I think that's how most people are dating now. So I guess I'll have to reiterate about that. The first thing is people lie on the online dating. They will put a picture in from their high school or 10 years ago. They may have brown hair, and then when you see them, they're gray. So it's very smart to ask them for an updated, recent picture. And you also want to get them to give you a picture from their knees up, because they could have gained a lot of weight, or the girl could have gained a lot of weight, and you may not want that in your life. Also, don't be so quick to give them your phone number, because these guys, or you guys, will call us. I've had guys call me every 12 times a day. And do you really want to date a girl that can answer the phone 12 times a day? No, you want to date a girl that has a life already, okay? Don't be that guy to call every hour on the hour, because we will think that you're a stalker. Yeah. And for God's sake, when you find out where the girl works, don't go by her job, because that is a, well, hold on, I'm coming closer. That is a big no-no. That is a big no-no. And if you recognize, if you're in a place of business and you see this girl that you want to date, don't hang around her job, because that's maybe her only source of income. You don't want to do that. It's okay to flirt with them if you see them, and if you're really quick, if you ask her for her number, and you get her number, be respectful and call before 9, okay? Before 9 p.m. Never call a girl. I would say don't call her after 8:30, because if you want to talk to her for a half hour, you see how that goes into that 9 p.m. And that's like the standard of, you know, when people get ready for bed. You don't want to do that. And don't text a picture of your junk. Don't do it. Because there's a whole lot more to relationship than that. Some girls may want to see that, but most will not. Let's see, what else? Never, ever bring up the subject of intimacy on the first date or the second date, if you're a real gentleman, because a real lady that, you know, is a Christian or whatever does not want to hear that. Women are romantics. We want to fall in love with you first. So when you want to get that date, you have to take it slow, real slow. If you immediately say, oh yeah, I want to see you tomorrow, most women already have their schedule done. So you can't make it that fast, because number one, they're going to think you're desperate, or they're going to think that, you know, it could be something like what goes on with Tinder sometimes, you know, where it's just, you just want to get with a girl for you know what. There's algorithms on this YouTube, so if I say a certain string of words, they're going to not monetize me. So I always have to substitute a certain word or phrase so that I don't get demonetized, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. Now, a lot of you guys don't want to go to the beauty parlor to get a pedicure or a manicure, but it's okay. You know, a lot of guys have fragile egos. You know, go and pamper yourself. Now, of course, if you're a mechanic and you're working under the hood and your hands are always greasy, tell the girl that. Make sure that you shower and wash your clothes. I went on one date where I could tell the guy, I don't think he'd washed his shirt in about a week, and you could tell. So wash your clothes. And women look at things like that because we're women. You know, and if you're wearing white socks, make sure that they're white. If you're doing your own laundry and you're not putting a little bit of Clorox 2 in there or some kind of brightener, you know, go buy another pair of socks, okay? And shine your shoes. But if you know the girl lives on a beach, it's perfectly okay to show up in flip-flops, as long as it's not a real fancy restaurant. I would not, because most real fancy restaurants you have to wear a jacket, you know what I mean, or a tie. But if you are falling in love with someone who's a beach bum, I don't think that she would mind that you got flip-flops on. Let's see, what else? Clean out your car. I went on a date recently and the guy had not cleaned out his car in 20 years. It looked like a bunch of lions had ripped his upholstery. The outside was so dirty, mold was growing on his car. Do you think a girl wants to date a guy that's too goddamn lazy to wash his car? No, 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 no. And don't expect a girl to get on the back of a motorcycle on the first date. Unless you're on one of those motorcycle dating sites, then that would be fine. But that is very dangerous, and I don't know. I know a lot of people in my own family that are deceased from motorcycle accidents. So don't put her on the back of a bike. Let's see. I had one guy that talked about his job for 2 hours. It was a pallet. He sold pallets and picked up pallets. Well, I'm now a pallet expert because he talked about this for 2 hours. When he left, he didn't know anything about me. Didn't even know my name, I don't think. So what you want to do is you want to have banter. Now, what banter is, because I love banter, if you bring up a subject and the other person responds to it, and then it piques a little bit interest this way and then that way, so everybody has equal time. Do not talk about your ex, unless, of course, it was positive. Yeah, that is not good. Now, if you're on your second or third date, I don't think that's a problem. But yeah, don't talk about your ex-girlfriend or your ex-wife, because what the woman is thinking is, oh, geez, if we break up, he's going to be talking about me like that. Be respectful of your exes, and it will benefit you, please. Don't say she was crazy or he was crazy or manic depressive or bipolar, because when women hear that, they think you're the one that made her crazy. Yeah, so don't do that. Don't get drunk on the first date, and don't be pushing liquor on your date either, because that's just not good. That's not going to benefit you in the long run. I've seen drugs and alcohol destroy families, you know. And floss your teeth. Floss your teeth. That's very important. And if you have to, put a mint in your mouth before you get to where you're dating, and make sure that you've already finished the mint or the breath spray. Don't walk into the date with it in your mouth. And try to pay for her dinner if you can. But if you have a mutual agreement, if you haven't gotten paid yet, most women will understand that, and they'll pay for their meal or whatever. And I think it's a good thing to do that, maybe because we won't be called gold diggers. Yeah. Or a lot of men think we just going out there for the meal. Well, the way my daughter explained this is that if a woman is going to meet a man, what the guy is getting is conversation, companionship, and if meeting the new love of your life costs you $20 meal, then yeah, I think it's worth it. Let's see, what else? It's okay to talk about how many children you have or whatever, because you don't want to fall in love with somebody and then find out a month later they got 5 kids, you know, from 5 different people, you know, because that's going to sting a little bit. All right, so what else can I say? Let's see. I think if you're wearing a belt, if it's a brown belt, you should have brown shoes. If it's a black belt, you should have black shoes. And don't unbutton your shirt to show all that hair, because us women think you're a player. And a gold necklace or silver necklace, if you're showing some cleavage, yeah, us girls think you're a player. Of course, I find that kind of sexy myself, but yeah. And don't flirt with the waitress. That's a good one. Don't flirt with the waitress. If you have a girl or date that is really interested in your job, that's wonderful. That's a good thing. And don't ask her personal questions of where she works, because women have to be very cautious about that. Don't ask us, you know, where we live, because that scares us off. That will come with time. I've been on many dates where the guy doesn't even know where I live. He couldn't get in anyway because I'm living in a lockdown facility, and I do not mean a jail either. So don't ask the girl that, and don't follow the girl. Okay, you don't want to follow her home. I guess unless you're getting lucky, I guess you'd have to. But so let's see, what else can I say? I think that's it. I'll add some more to it when I think of it. So I hope I helped you guys. These are like standard things, you know, on a date. And don't make a face when the tab comes. Oh my God. I had one guy who said he left his wallet at home. Well, he turned out to be the biggest loser of them all, because if you're going on that special date, you're going to make sure you got your car keys, your telephone, and your wallet. And, you know, don't... one date I went on, the guy talked to his son most of the date, and I never went out with him again. And this is the biggest no-no. If a guy, you know, let's say on the first date or the second date, he wants you to come to his house so he can make you a steak dinner or whatever, that I highly suggest that you do not do that. Don't do that to a girl, because you probably won't get the date. Yeah, that's going to scare a woman.